Bob Anderson. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who he is. He's pretty much a saint, to put it lightly. He was putting his whole system out there, the exact way he trades, the whole strategy behind it, all the indicators. He was just throwing it out there for free for everyone. It's a great, simple, easy strategy. I was just going to share a little review of my interpretation of his system and kind of some ways I've tried trading using it. But I like his strategy. He's got a couple main moving averages that he focuses on, which I found very similar to my own trading style. I'm personally a big fan of the 20 SMA and the 50 SMA on both the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart. Those are my go-to moving averages. He's got the 45 EMA, which is this gold line right here, and a 105 SMA, simple moving average. And these are both on a 1 minute chart. He also uses the current day open, high, and low indicator that's built in with NinjaTrader. The only line out of that indicator that I have plotted is this orange line. This is the current day open. I've always used the prior day open, high, low, and close, and pretty often the prior day close is the exact same or very close to the current day open. But when there's a difference, you can tell when there's been a gap in the overnight trading. Bob also uses the swing indicator that's built in with Ninja, but I kind of find it too distracting, too much on the chart. I think he's mentioned the same thing. He knows how to tell when the market's breaking structure and goes above or below a previous high or low in the past. I like to keep things as simple as possible, and his strategy is pretty dang simple. Definitely recommend checking out his channel, The Futures Trading Journey of Robert Anderson, something like that. If you look up Robert Anderson Futures Trading Journey, you'll find his channel. Definitely worth checking out. He's got in-depth explanations of all his different trades. I checked out his gold line trade and was trying to use that for a while. There's a couple elements that I still incorporate in my own system that I'm still using today, so thanks for that, Bob. There's always something you can learn from all the different people that are out there trading with all their different styles. Some things you may want to incorporate and use in your own system, and others you may not. What I've added here to Bob's system is the VWAP. It's this red line right here. I always have the VWAP in whatever system that I have. It's such an important line. So if you want to take Bob's strategy to the next level, I would recommend adding a VWAP. And I also always have order flow and volume represented in some way on my chart. So here's some order flow delta that I've added to the chart. I think adding delta or some kind of order flow is beneficial to any system that you have. Check out the market open today. You can just see tons of delta coming in on these 1 minute candles, and prices breaking above the current day open. It's above VWAP, it's above both of his moving averages. It's just taken off. We got all these green candles. This is kind of a souped up version. I'm using a indicator called the moving average crossover from Ninja. I got a bunch of links in the description if you're interested in checking out any of their indicators. You don't need it, but I find it reminds me which direction I want to be looking at. Like, obviously candles are green, I want to be looking for longs. We had the nice push up this morning. Then we had a retracement to the gold line. And you'll have to check out his videos to get the exact rules. But he likes trading bounces off of the gold line. And since I've got this order flow on here, I'm noticing when we're coming down towards the gold line, we are getting a ton of negative delta coming in. So I'm not super excited about a bounce at the moment. When I was looking at that, right from the close of this candle where the delta came in, it was like a 25-point move. But this dotted line, this blue dotted line, this is an indicator that I got from Bob, actually. He's got a indicator, the open range indicator, and it's calculating the high, the low, and the center of the first 15 minutes of the market open. And I took off the lines for the high and the low. They just kind of distract me. I can just tell visually. But the median line I've found incredibly helpful, and it's another part of his system that I'm still using today. So again, thanks for that, Bob. Like I said, the guy's a saint. But I mean, check this out. It comes right down to that halfway line for the opening range. Huge bounce. Now we've got a second attempt on the gold line, and if you watch his videos, you'll hear him say that he only takes the first and maybe the second bounce, but definitely not the third. And so we got one bounce, comes down to the gold line. We get a great bounce right off the gold line. Nice 50-point move in under 15 minutes there. And you'll notice this time when we're coming down, not as much delta, and it starts drying up right here on that last approach. Over here on the third attempt at this gold line coming down, check out the delta on this candle. It's a huge negative delta right there. And we finally penetrated that gold line, came back down to the blue line, and he talks about this. I can't remember what color he calls it on his, but this is the 105 SMA. And we had a nice 12, 13 point bounce right off that blue line there. And then we're starting to cross below now. We got our candles turning red. But again, this is why I like to have VWAP on here, because I'm looking how close this blue line is to VWAP, and I'm not in a hurry to sell right when it's approaching VWAP. But it tries one more time, second time there, third time, finally breaks down below VWAP. You know, we've got some delta coming in. And check this out. This is Bob's, current day open line that he likes to use. He talks about this trade a lot too. Look at the bounce right off this line. Spot on. Ends up going up over 90 points. But first target, could be VWAP. Definitely price honored VWAP for a little bit. Then breaking above the gold line. Then when we finally break above the blue line again, got another 15 points there. Potential to grab, grab a little chunk of. The other indicator that I really like using, and this one's totally free. If you go to Ninza's website, this is called the bar status indicator. If you join their club for free, their newsletter, you get access to download all these free indicators, and this is one of them. I love this indicator. It's one of my favorite of theirs, the bar status indicator, because I can make this timer just huge. Instead of the included bar timer with NinjaTrader, it's so tiny in the corner you can barely see it. But this just totally helps remind me to wait for the candle close before I get into the trade if I'm waiting for some extra confirmation. It's a helpful reminder. I'm a very visual person, and I like having things clear and defined make things as easy as possible. You also notice we got some major uptick in the delta. Got more buyers coming in, and if we look what happened after that, like hardly any sellers, more and more and more buyers, definitely more buyers than sellers, and prices just creeping up here. This is the volume delta indicator from Ninja, but obviously you could use any kind of order flow indicator. Doesn't matter. I know a lot of people like the ones where you can see the tick by tick action on every price level, but I've never really found that helpful. I've delved into it for years, and still I just prefer knowing what the basic delta is per candle. It's all the information I need. And then I've got these big ordering buttons: buy, sell, super easy, right on the chart. I don't have to have Chart Trader open and taking up all that space, so I have more chart space. So I've been using this indicator forever. I love it. It's also from Ninja. But yeah, that's a basic little brief overview of Bob Anderson's trading system. Just wanted to share my take on it and how I've made some improvements to it. I think they're improvements. It might be distracting to other people, but maybe you'll get something beneficial from this video. Hope so. But yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for more trading information.